Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're diving into the Kizuna clash with the boosted team. No, I do not have Whitebeard. Don't come at me. Don't stress. I didn't summon on the banner. Don't want to be touching this banner with the Super Studios coming up, but I know some of you jabronis did. I know some of you guys very lucky. Some of you didn't stink. Some of you just binked. So, for you jabronis out there that did manage to pick up Whitebeard and don't know what the fuck you're doing, don't worry, Stumpy Boy's here to help you guys out. And if it does help you out, put the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff for me. I'm going to be using the damage calculator for these teams. Some characters aren't actually in the damage calculator. So, like Whitebeard, for example. So, I've had to sort of put some substitution in, but I'll talk about it as we go. As you can see down the bottom here, like Whitebeard's pretty much the only character. They have a bunch of other recommended characters that work really, really nicely, but Whitebeard is really the only character that is going to give you more tickets. So if you don't have your own Whitebeard, you want to bring the friend captain, but if you have your own Whitebeard, you definitely want to bring him. As for the rest of the characters, like these are all just getting boosted stats and all that crazy shenaniganry. 3 stars dead. Can I get a hoorah in the comment section for the dead 3-star strat? We love that. But look, it's not a super boss anyway, so just be mindful of that. It is a regular ass Kizuna. So with that said, let's slide on over here and let's take a look at the very first variation, that is the quick fight. The quick fight, basically the recommended characters are this young Vista, the Jozu rare recruit, and then double Whitebeard. If you have them, you're pretty much covered. All you need to do is bring someone that gets around attack down on turn 2 and defense up on turn 3. So Roger, he can do both. He can do defense up, he can do attack down, whatever you want to do, he's going to work great. He also has a super tandem as well. I believe his super tandem works with Whitebeard. I might be wrong on that in that regard. And if I am wrong, do apologize. Probably just replace Lucci with like another attack down remover or a defense up remover that Roger can work with. But as for the stage 2, he's pretty much just going to take care of that. I've got Lucci to take care of the defense up. On the final stage, this particular Vista is your attack booster. He also gets around paralysis and resilience. He's going to rotate your block orbs as well. This Jozu is going to get around... oh, wait. The Jozu does the increased defense and the damage reduction. So, you don't even need... I think you actually... Sorry. I think you need... I think you need damage reduction. Yeah, looking at this, you actually need a damage reduction unit, not a defense up unit. So, yeah, you just basically change this Lucci to a damage reduction character. So, I had Lucci because he was a base stat booster, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter all that much. You could actually just use, like, Yamato for increased damage taken. We could use this one right here. She's gonna apply increased damage taken, so that's always gonna be fun. As for everything else, yeah, you're pretty much covered with increased defense up threshold. Whitebeard is going to be your chain boundary unit. You can use one on turn 2 to get around the attack down below a certain chain, and then use the other one on turn 3. They have that weird pseudo double special activation. You are going to get very low in terms of your HP, but don't stress. There's no death damage here. There's nothing that you really have to worry about per se. You get tandem orbs as well, so that way you get around the slot barrier, and you're pretty much off to the races. Well, it'll work fairly nicely. Like I said, the recommended characters this time are actually fairly easy to use. Moving on to the next fight, which is the Psy fight, actually. The recommended character they want you to bring is this Marco and this particular Arlong. The Arlong's great because he gets around stun, and then the Marco's interesting because he can actually get around either damage reduction or the paralysis. On turn 2, your right column gets special binded, and then your left column gets special reversed. And then there's like a lock mechanic where you like can't get the cooldown moving into the next turn. Now, this ace here is meant to be the new 5+ ace. He's going to get around the paralysis, but you do have to get around the special bind first, and because you have these 3 here triggering the Whitebeard superclass, you can activate the superclass of Whitebeard, removes the special bind on himself. You then use his special, removes the special bind on everyone else. Then you can use Ace to remove the paralysis, and you're off to the races. The special rewind will stay the same, but then when you move into the final stage, you're actually going to take a stun on your sailors, and that's where Arlong comes into play. There's 1 turn of defense up, which Arlong can set defense to 0. There's no immunity to that, so that's great. He applies increased damage taken, and he also... What else does he do? Yeah, it gets around the stun. I said that. Your left-hand column now gets special binded, so make sure Arlong is on the right-hand side. And then you want to use the super type of Whitebeard over here. Then use the Whitebeard special that gets around the special bind. And then Marco can take care of the damage reduction. This Luffy, he's just here as an attack booster. You can replace him with anyone you like just go for gold. But Marco also gives you a threshold when you're below a certain amount of HP. Actually, I think he just gives you a threshold regardless. Because you get that 80% HP cut moving into the final stage. And then you also get a 30,000 death hit. Marco is going to help you tank that. It's pretty straightforward. Moving on to the final variation now. They want you to use this Reiju. So, if you don't have Legend Reiju, it's fine. Don't stress. You can basically just bring this Marco, and you're going to be fine. I took that into consideration with this Jozu, because on the final, this variation over here, like I said, they want you to use Reiju. So, we'll put Reiju back. On this final variation, the Stage 2, they hit you with Special Bind and Bind on your left-hand column. So, if you have Sabo and Ace, they are a striker technically with being Sabo. So, you can utilize them to then go into your dual form. Because you have a Luffy, though, you are going to have the 3-turn Orb boost. So, make sure you use a super type of Whitebeard first. So, that way you apply the Orb buff. Then you can then use Sabo and Ace. Sabo and Ace won't give you an Orb buff. You'll still have Whitebeard's Orb buff. And then they just remove the Special Bind and the Bind. So that'll work nicely. On the final stage, there is Paralysis and Threshold. That's why they want you to use Reiju. She can get around both of those. Plus, she also gets around the Poison Orbs. But, like I said, if you don't have Reiju, you can just use this Marco. He gets around both of them as well. What he doesn't do is he doesn't get around Threshold. I believe he only does increased damage taken. So, the Reiju character, she gets around Threshold as well. But I included this Jozu because he gets around 5 turns of Threshold. So, that's going to work out really nicely. Plus, he also gives a chain boost. So, if you are utilizing this guy, you just want to use a chain boosting support. But if you are using Reiju, you can use him on the turn before and then get a carryover of the support. Because you use a Whitebeard on turn 2, you bypass the chain lock. And then Whitebeard removes the chain coefficient reduction. So basically, turn 2, you are super classing, special. And then on the final stage, you can use Reiju. And then everyone else, basically. And it's pretty straightforward. So that's the boosted team. If you're a Jamonk that managed to pull everything, congratulations. Hopefully these teams help you out. And if you've already built your own teams, let me know what you're rocking down below. But while you're down there, build the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching. And I'll catch you all in the next one.